referee thought that was the time to jump in and make the stoppage. Do you agree, Sean Porter?
The number one job of a referee is, the number one job is to control it, help control the fight. Number two job, keep both fighters safe.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a war we have just witnessed. A round of applause for these two fighters. The end comes with 2 minutes and 5 seconds gone in round number 9. Your referee, Chris Condon, calls a stop to this contest for your winner by TKO, fighting out of the blue corner, Nikita Tszyu!
Everyone knows Foxtel has the best TV and movies in the world.
Whole world.
Still, sometimes you want to watch something else. And with no installation required, the IQ5 makes it easy. It brings your fave streaming apps and free-to-air apps together so you can easily see them all in one place. It also lets you watch any on-demand Foxtel show anytime. I guess good things do come in small packages.
To Fox Sports and Main Event. My name is Eloise Sawyer. We're here at the very own iconic Bondi Beach for an open workout as we build up to Wednesday's huge fight night right here on Main Event. Peter Bedell and, of course, No Limits, George Rose alongside me. George, Nikita Tszyu, the Butcher is back.
The Butcher's back. It's been a while since we've had him in the ring, and it's exciting to get him back because he is, without a doubt, the most entertaining fighter that we have in the country. He keeps everybody on their seat, and it's good that he'll be back on Wednesday night.
Pete, as George said just then, it's been 12 months since we've seen Nikita Tszyu. Just what can we expect after so long out of the ring?
Well, Louise, he's the king of chaos, isn't he? We love it. We love it. He's a bit mad. He's a bit out there, but we love that about the Butcher. And look, this is a danger fight for Nikita. He hasn't been in the ring for a year, and inactivity is a sin in boxing. So he needs a big performance. He needs an emphatic performance. I think he's been a bit scratchy and vulnerable in some fights, but we want to see some power and real devastation. I think we'll get it in this fight. George, obviously Nikita Tszyu, he gets through Wednesday night. There's been this feud between he and Michael Zerafa that has just been brewing since 2020. Is this what we just want to see? Is this what we're building up to?
I think there's a real hunger for it, and the more that we speak to him about it, the more you really feel that genuine hatred coming out between the pair of them. I know early on there's a healthy respect, but the more that it comes out, the more you know that they're ready to rip each other's heads off. And I think it's a fight that we all deserve to see. We'll have to just make it happen.
It's been a rivalry that's been brewing just for so long, Pete. Do you think once they do get in the ring, it's just all gloves off? And I know that, as George said then, they've been playing a little bit friendly. They've almost been a bit respectful, but really, this is the fight that it's been built for so long.
Well, we're getting desperate, Eloise. Can you make it happen, George? Please do something. We're getting desperate here. But look, it was meant to be Tim Tszyu, of course, and Michael Zerafa back in 2021. So it's been 4 years in the making now, and Tim perhaps thinks that he's too good for Michael Zerafa, and now the torch has been passed to Nikita. I almost think it's a better fight, Nikita v Zerafa. I think Nikita's power against Zerafa's finesse. I think it's a beautiful talk about styles make fights. I'd love to see Nikita land a few bombs because it could be on because Michael Zerafa can bang when he has to.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got so much to talk about Nikita Tszyu, also to Zerafa, also to, of course, Brock Jarvis, all on this fight night on Wednesday. But I must get a comment off the top here, George. Obviously, this morning, Sam Goodman, you had one word to describe this fight. Just exactly your thoughts.
Look, to be fair, my first reaction to it, and I'll say it, bullshit. That's the way that I felt. I saw the call and I just thought, that's bullshit. You know, Sam Goodman deserved better than that, better than what they tossed up to him. I thought that that was a very, very close fight. I know a lot of people were scoring it close. A draw either way. I thought 7-5 either way. I thought Sam clearly won rounds. I thought Nick Ball also clearly won rounds, and there was a lot of really close ones. But Sam Goodman didn't lose any fans in his performance. He was going up in weight, so it was always going to be against him, but he did not take a backward step. He got in there, he threw everything at it, and I was really proud of seeing Sam what he did this morning.
Pete, do you feel like that performance this morning from Sam Goodman really does, in fact, boost his stocks?
Oh, I don't think this is a denigration. I think this is an elevation for Sam Goodman, absolutely. And I've got to say, Eloise and George, I watched the fight. I think that the two of the judges' cards were a disgrace. I thought it was bad for boxing. I scored at 7-5 to Ball, so I'm not being blindly patriotic. I thought Ball won the fight. But Sam Goodman was way better than getting 2 or 3 rounds. He was dominant early. Midway through the fight, even Andy Lee on the commentary, the former Irish World Champion, he had it even, and he had it even going into the last 2 rounds. I thought Ball won the championship rounds, and he said his best would be a little bit better than Goodman's best, and that's how it played out. But Sam should be so proud of himself. He fought brilliantly.
Well, there is so much to dissect about that Sam Goodman fight, but let's turn our attention back to, of course, Wednesday night. We are building up to see, of course, Jasmine Parr take the ring. She's going to be here right behind us. Let's bring in Jasmine Parr right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome here. Centering for the beginning of fight week ahead of Nikita Tszyu and Lulzim Ismaili. It's coming up main event in KO Sports pay per Wednesday night at ICC. My name is Steve Piles, and it is a very warm welcome to everybody here to Bondi Beach, the world famous destination, as we start fight week with our open workouts. A huge array of talent here centering. Be making their way into the ring to show off some of their skills here to the adoring public who are all out on their Sunday morning activities and get to have this fantastic treat of the open workouts. It's all brought to you by No Limit Boxing, Australia's #1 boxing promotion, bringing Australia to the world. We're ready to get our boxers out into centre ring, and we start with a wonderful young lady fighting 5 2-minute rounds coming up on Wednesday night. She is the princess of Australian boxing. Let's welcome her out centering here for the workout. This is Princess Jasmine Parr.
Jasmine Parr is in the centre ring right here at Bondi Beach. It's a beautiful morning for her, Pete. She calls herself Princess Jasmine. She's got such a huge following on Instagram, but she's got form to back it up.
Well, she calls herself Princess, but she's got some power as well, Eloise. Look, I was really impressed with her fight against Shannon O'Connell. I know she lost that. It was a controversial split decision loss. But over 8 rounds, I thought she showed a bit of maturity for a girl who's only 22 years old. She's got a long way to go in the sport. But this is a danger fight. She's fighting a girl from Singapore, the face of Singaporean boxing, and she's unbeaten 8-0 with 6 KOs. So she's got some power, her opponent Cameroon. And Jazzy has to be careful, but I've liked what I've seen so far from Jazzy. She can bang. Because it's also pretty good when she controls distance, and her timing's pretty good. So I think she's got a big future in the sport.
Obviously, she comes from great pedigree. Her father, of course, is John Wayne Parr.
Yeah.
I mean, how much does that sort of help in having those sort of genes, but also trying to build on that and what she's able to sort of create an own name for herself and what she does from here on in, because every win will only move her further up and get her more attention in this world.
Absolutely. Look, and John Wayne Parr, obviously one of the great Muay Thai legends, did it all in the sport, over 300 fights, and having him in her corner is huge. I mean, his intel, his maturity, his mentoring, and I know she's also worked with Paul Briggs, Jasmine, so she's got a lot of good support in her corner, and I think there's only better fights for her. I know that she was disappointed with her loss against O'Connell. She thought she was robbed. I thought O'Connell won that fight, but it showed Jazzy is up there with the best in Australian boxing.
How much does a loss like that and a setback for a fighter really add that, I suppose, that burning desire and that fuel to want to get back in there and prove a point and prove to the world that this isn't the last of Jasmine Parr?
100%. And look, we've seen great fighters across all nations lose fights, Eloise, and come back. I mean, the great Kosh Tszyu lost the fight and reigned again. So, look, I think for Jasmine Parr, it's a credit to her toughness and her constitution that she wants to take the tough fights. I mean, for her to even want to get in the ring with Shannon O'Connell, who had 33, 34 career fights at her age, with her inexperience, was a credit to her toughness and her willingness to fight. And this is the type of fight that will test her again, because Cameroon is dangerous. She can punch for a woman, so she's got to be careful, Jasmine Parr.
What everyone loves about Jasmine Parr and what always gets floated around is she's just got that X factor. Is that what makes her so brilliant? Is that what's setting her apart?
Well, she certainly is on social media. She's got about 100,000 followers. She's got about 5,000 more than you. Yeah. I'm about 100,000 behind. But look, I'm trying. Looks are a problem. But look, I think for Jasmine, look, she's got that panache. She's got that pizzazz. She not only can fight in the ring, but she knows how to promote herself outside of the ring. And that's one thing in this day and age. She knows how to catch the eye inside the ring and outside the ring.
But catching the eye inside and outside of the ring, does that help her? Does that help her game? How much does that set her apart? Is that what makes her different? Is that what she's doing right compared to other fighters within her sort of weight division?
Well, it's all about elevating herself. Yeah,
right.
100%.
Yeah.
She has to be able to sell herself, and she's been able to do that. She understands the modern world and the social media age that we're in. However, you also have to be able to back up your words. And not only does she talk the talk, but she can walk the walk. She's got quality, she's got ability, and I think she's only going to get better. She's got more gears in her as a fighter.
If we take a look at her in the ring, how do you feel like she's looking in terms of just the way that her figure, the way that she's moving, the way that she's also... Does she look primed? Does she look ready in your eyes?
100%. Look, I think the thing with Jasmine is she's only early in her career, but I've noticed a progression. I've covered a few of her cards now on No Limit cards, and she's improved with each fight. And that O'Connell fight would have taught her a lot about distance control. That was an 8-round fight, and she went the distance with the Queen of Australian boxing. And I thought in that fight, Shannon and Jasmine showed good boxing IQ, but she's also a good striker, Jasmine. She's got a nice straight right, and she can hurt girls when she lands that straight right, so she's on the rise.
The fact that she's also, too, she's opening up the pay-per-view, so the stakes are high for her as well to be on that stage. How does she sort of, I suppose, prepare for that? That's a massive moment for her, to be opening up such a huge fight night. Does that add any nerves? Does that add expectation? How does she deal with that leading in so close to Wednesday?
It's a good point, Eloise. Look, I've spoken to a few fighters who say they go onto a No Limit card and what they do in the ring suddenly gets forgotten, and they get bamboozled by the bright lights and the pressure.
By the occasion.
The occasion. And one thing that Jasmine's been able to learn at such a young age, at age 22, is the ability to cope with those pressure situations, and she's had a few already. And I thought the fight against O'Connell was a real seminal moment in her career. I know she wouldn't mind a rematch against O'Connell perhaps, but I think that fight taught her a lot about herself, and opening cards like this will only make her a better fighter.
For a result, say a win on Wednesday night, do you think that's what Jasmine Parr will potentially be calling out, is a rematch with O'Connell? Do you feel like that would make sense for her, or would it be something to go down a different avenue?
Well, the hard thing is, Eloise, and this is the thing for female fighters, often because the depth isn't there, it is hard to get quality fights, especially in Australia. We're not a big fighting country in terms of numbers. So for someone like Jasmine Parr, I think if she wins this fight against a very good international opponent, this will probably be the biggest scalp of her career if she wins this. She can then look to other international opponents. I wouldn't just look domestically because Jasmine Parr's better than that. I think she's got international quality. And if she wins this fight, she goes a long way to world title status.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a listen now, because we're going to hear from Jasmine Parr, who's in the ring with Steve.
All right, thanks very much. All right, thanks very much, Peter and Eloise. Broadcast Jasmine Parr sent the boxing ring. Such a picturesque background like this must be a good for you.
Yeah, this is beautiful. This is amazing. I do this every day.
Fantastic. What about this crowd here? About these wonderful people in Sydney and what they expect if they come and see you on Wednesday night?
Yeah, Wednesday night is going to be around the fight, guys. Come along. There's so many exciting people on the cards like myself. Come down. It's freaking cold in Sydney. By the way, get it on.
What about jumping there quickly?
In my what?
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Fantastic. There she is, Princess Jasmine Parr. Jasmine, thank you very much. We'll send you out to speak now. And Eloise, thank you. Princess Jasmine Parr. 8 fights, 7 wins.
Apologies there for the audio with Jasmine Parr and Steve Chaos. We are going to hear from Jasmine right here. She's going to join us here. She's just taking some photos there. She's getting ready. She's steely-eyed. She's dialed in. She's looking fit. She's looking ready. And as you say, this is such a big occasion for Jasmine Parr. And I'm really looking forward to hearing her thoughts once she comes down here and gives a couple of smiles to the crowd as we welcome her in. But I suppose what we said before, this is just such a big occasion. What do you want to hear from Jasmine? What do you want to ask her?
Well, I'm going to ask her where she walks over now. She's about to join us, so we'll give her a couple of seconds and then she'll come over here. We'll wave over to her. Jasmine, should you come and join us on the coverage?
Come on in, Jasmine. Hello. How are you going? Hit us off.
Jasmine, Eloise just asked me what I would want to ask you. Well, here's the chance. I mean, I know you were disappointed with your performance against Shannon O'Connell. I thought some people thought you won that fight. How do you reflect on that performance, and what are you going to do in this fight?
You know, that was a good learning experience for me. You know, she's had so much experience, and so to fight a veteran like Shannon was a really great opportunity. So there wasn't a loss for that for me. Like I came back, felt so much stronger in my second fight back, and this is my third. Oh, wait, no, sorry, my math is not right. This is my second
fight back.
Yeah, second fight back after the loss, but I'm feeling so good. I'm just like on top of the world. Happy fighter is a dangerous fighter, and like my weight's perfect. I'm feeling so strong. My coaches are great. Everything's good. I'm in Bondi. I'm in the beach. I'm happy.
Get better than this.
Yeah.
Jasmine, I want to ask you, talk about being happy, finding happiness, and I suppose just feeling the best, that version of yourself. What do you put that down to in this camp? What do you feel like you've done right? You felt differently. How do you compare it to other camps going into that O'Connell fight?
You know, it's a lot of mindset work that we have to do, like day in, day out. I don't know if all fighters do that, but I definitely do it for myself. Like, you know, it becomes a lot up here, so you've got to overcome any obstacles that come along the way, and that just builds you as a fighter and as a person. So in and out of the ring, I feel like I've grown a lot. I'm like getting older now too, so I feel like I'm getting a little bit more mature. Things are going really well.
Well, what about Jazzy? I mean, this is a huge opportunity for you. What about opening the card? What does that mean to you?
Oh, it's amazing. I absolutely want to set the tone for the night. You know, there's a lot of men on the card, and there's another female fight on this card, which is exciting because last time I was the only female on the card. So, but it's good. The women are making their way through. We've got to make it as exciting as ever. So Wednesday night, I can't wait. I'm counting down the sleeps.
Jasmine, I think what makes it so exciting from a fan point of view is everyone loves the following. You call yourself Princess Jasmine. You've got over 100k followers, a lot more than Pete and I. Pete and I were just having a laugh about that. But the fact that you've got this following online, but what Pete was saying was so remarkable is that you back it up with form. How much do you enjoy the sort of building that, I suppose, image for yourself online, as well as then walking the walk in the ring?
Well, this is like my main job. The
so Jasmine Parr, everybody, she's coming up against a very tough opponent that's made her way all the way from Singapore. Make sure you come out and watch her.
I forgot the question. Sorry. What did you say?
Your social media second of doing that.
I just be my natural self. I be my natural self in the ring. I put in 110% effort, and then that pays off on social media and then also in the ring. So, yeah.
Well, what I like about you too, though, Jazzy, is this fight is
all right, ladies and gentlemen, now
Cameroon, who's 8-0, and she's got a good knockout record. What do you know about your opponent, and is it a danger fight for you?
Yeah, I think she's definitely going to be a tough opponent, but I've been training for this, and I know I've had a lot of really hard fights, and I know that I can take a punch.
Of our Sydney community, and it's time to welcome him in centre ring now for his open workout. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise. This is Ahmed.
Jazzy, we can't wait as well. We're so excited. You're opening up the pay-per-view on Wednesday night. Good luck with the rest of the preparation, the countdown as well and truly on. We can't wait to see you there on Wednesday. Up next, of course, is Ahmed Reda. He is heading into the ring. Thanks, Jazzy. Ahmed Reda, he is stepping into the ring. Now, Pete, Ahmed Reda, talk us through this fighter. What can we expect? Give us the laydown. And as he steps in here, let's take a look at him.
I've got to say, Eloise, this is going to be one of the most exciting fights on this card for me. I think it's an absolute cracker. Bruno Tarimo is a danger fighter. He's had 35 career fights. Reda's only had 6 career fights, so this is a huge step up. And it's for the Australian super lightweight title, the vacant title. This is the biggest test of Reda's career. He's cocky, he's confident, and he's skillful. And I think he can back up his words.
You talk there about being cocky. Is that what sets him apart? Is that why fighters back off? Is this the case of veteran, not amateur, but you said you talk about the I suppose, the difference in how many experience in between these two fights. But is it that cockiness that people sort of back away from?
Oh, absolutely. Look, I know he's called out Harry Garside a number of times. He wants to fight Harry.
And they fought at amateur.
They did fight, and Harry beat him in the amateurs, so he's got the bragging rights there, Harry. But I think Harry feels like he's almost above Reda at the moment with his achievements in the sport. But the way Reda's going, I think he can be a better pro than he is an amateur. I think he's pro, he's suited to the pro style, he sits on his punches, he's explosive, he's quick, and he's not afraid to come forward and bang. So it's a credit to Reda that he's taken this fight, because Tarimo has had 30 more career fights as a pro. It's a big test of his ability.
I want to touch on Tarimo, who he does come up against. What is Reda most fearful of in terms of Tarimo? What can Tarimo do? Can he run circles around him? Does he come at him? How do you feel like that fight's going to play out on Wednesday night? And how do you feel Reda's really preparing for it?
They talk about style making fights, Eloise, I think this is an absolute stylistically magnificent fight. Reda likes to come forward, but so does Terymo. And Terymo's a pressure fighter. He's high volume. He's only been stopped once in his career in 35 fights. He's fought at several divisions from super bantamweight, and he's coming up 15 pounds to fight here at super lightweight. So it's a testament to Terymo's toughness that he's prepared to go up 3 or 4 weight classes to fight Reda. But Terymo will keep coming all night, and Reda's going to have to be able to counter that, and if not counter punch, then dictate terms himself. So that's what will make it a fascinating fight.
Rare too from Reda after this. If he gets through Terymo and he comes out on top, who do you think he'll look to call out? Do we feel like he's going to still try and go after Harry Garside? Is that who he's going to look down the camera on Wednesday night? He's been calling for it for so long. Harry hasn't really said much, but is that potentially something we may see?
Reda will be saying, Harry, I'm coming for you. I can guarantee it. Yes. No, look, I think absolutely he'll want Harry Garside. However, he was meant to fight Billy Polkinghorne initially for this title, and then Billy unfortunately sustained another injury after he tore his bicep last year. So, look, disappointing for Polkinghorne. That would have been an absolute ripper of a fight as well. So, for me, there's a few opponents on the horizon here for Reda. If he wins this title, there's some beautiful matchups ahead. So, Polkinghorne could be one, and of course, Harry Garside, if he's prepared to take the fight, that would be a real cracker domestically.
If we take a look at Reda, what you've seen of him so far this morning, how do you feel he's looking? What do you feel like he's doing right? How do you feel his body's primed for this Wednesday night?
Oh, look, one thing with Reda, he's not a tall guy, he's not a big guy, but he's quite solid. And in his weight class, he's pretty powerful and he's explosive. And he's got fast twitch fibres, you can see there just with some of his hand movements. I know this is only in the ring, shadow boxing, but in the ring, under pressure, he is the real deal. And I think Reda's got a massive future in this sport.
We talk about the nerves. We asked Jasmine Parr about preparing for such a big occasion on pay-per-view. For Reda, you say 6 fights, and then you say Terymo's got so many more. Does nerves come down to this? I suppose the build-up of such a big occasion. Is that where Terymo could potentially have the edge on Reda in terms of being able to be a part of this occasion?
Absolutely. Look, I think Eloise, for Reda, he's been on cards before with no limits, so he knows what it takes. I don't think he'll be too disappointed, so he'll handle the occasion. But Terymo's a lot more experienced. He's fought Paul Fleming and those sorts of guys, so he's going to have to. He's got his work cut out, Reda.
Well, let's tune in now and hear from Reda in the ring with Steve Pales.
Fantastic, mate. Just quickly about your opponent, Terymo. He's tough. He's around the block, 35 fights as a professional. What do you know about him, and what do you expect from Bruno and Terymo?
You know, he's a fighter. He's been there for quite a bit now. His experience, but so am I. You guys don't know it just yet, but so am I. You know, I'm experienced, and I'm going to show that Wednesday night.
Give everybody a message before you go down to broadcast to come and get a ticket. Watch it on pay-per-view. Tell everybody here in the adoring Bondi public.
Whoever hasn't bought your tickets, get your tickets before the show sold out. You know, Wednesday night it's all happening. We got myself, and there's a lot of other fighters fighting Wednesday night, so grab your tickets and don't miss the action. You don't want to miss this one.
Fantastic. He's ready for his Australian title fight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ahmed Bloodshot Reda.
Well, Ahmed Reda is telling everyone here at Bondi Beach, Pete Vidal, he's not just the only fighter on Wednesday night. There's a lot of other fighters on that card that he's going to be one of them, of course. He's going to bring him in here. We're going to hear from him too. But he's saying there, whilst his opponent may be experienced, he's saying, I've got experience too. So he's definitely not shying away from that. Welcome, and welcome here. Let's talk about this huge Wednesday night, Reda. How are you feeling? How are you prepared? How is this entire sort of, I suppose, these weeks been building in?
You know, it's been good. It's been a bit crazy, but it's been good. You know, I've prepared really well for this fight. Everything's on track so far, so the training's been good. I had the best rounds I can get, the best sparring. The weight's coming off really nice, and yeah, I've trained my ass off for this fight, and I can't wait to take the belt home come Wednesday night.
Well, but it's been disrupted for you. I mean, credit to you for holding your nerve here, because you were meant to fight Billy Polkinghorne and then that fell through. So tell us about Bruno Terymo, what you know about him and how dangerous is he?
Yeah, I mean, like you guys know, I was prepping for Billy Polkinghorne. We were scheduled to fight for the Australian title, so I was training hard. You know, Billy's not an easy fight. Billy's a hard fight, and anyone for the Australian title is going to be a hard fight. It's a 10-rounder, so I mean, I was training hard. You know, I was fit, I was strong, and then yeah, sadly he got injured, so that didn't happen. And then they got him Bruno. Honestly, man, I didn't look too much into Bruno. I've seen maybe a clip or two of him. I got a rough idea of what he fights like, how he looks like, and yeah, that's about it. I'm just going to go off what I know and get in the ring, and whatever he brings, I know I've got more in the tank and I've got more in my training, so I'll be ready for whatever he brings.
Ahmed, was that transition from changing opponents, was that hard for you to sort of flick the switch? Did you have to change much in camp, or was it all about you and your own preparation, how your body was feeling?
There was a slight change in sparring partners, but in training in general, there was not really, because we always train hard and we got to get fit for 10 rounds. But there was a slight change. There was a slight change in the sparring partners, because Bruno is slightly as a southpaw, where Billy is orthodox. So we did change a few things. But yeah, no. Apart from that, everything else has still been the same, and training hard. And yeah, we get ready for the hardest fights every fight.
What about Ahmed? If you get this belt, which hopefully you do you want Harry Garside then? Is that the carrot to get Harry Garside in the ring?
Harry who, sorry? Hey, Harry, look, after this fight, when I knock this guy out, you can't tell me records and records, you know what I mean? I'm going to have this guy, he's had 35 fights, you know, he's pretty experienced. I don't think Harry's fought anyone with that much experience. I'm going to have the Oz title on my shoulder, so if he wants it, we can make it happen. But other than that, yeah, it's on to bigger and better things from there. Yeah.
Ahmed Reda, thank you so much for your time this morning. Good luck on Wednesday. Harry Garside, if you're watching, that might just be coming for you. Good luck and enjoy the night. Thanks, Ahmed. Well, as we let Ahmed Reda go, we're going to talk about the one and only Brock Jarvis. He is returning after what was a huge defeat to Keith Thurman, but it was a huge occasion for him to even have stepped into that ring, wasn't it?
Absolutely, Louise. Look, credit to Brock Jarvis for taking that fight, because in terms of resumes, in terms of achievements in the sport, they were poles apart. It was North and South Pole. And look, I think it showed in the ring. You know, Keith Thurman destroyed Brock Jarvis. Now, Brock has to be careful at this stage of his career, at age 27, that he doesn't go too far down and collapse and crash and burn completely, because Keith Thurman sliced and diced him that night, and he has to learn from that and pick some opponents very carefully moving forward.
I think what everyone was talking about in that Brock Jarvis fight was obviously the talk around Keith Thurman, the way that he was able to play the mind games for Brock Jarvis. But how much does that, if you flip that on its head and look at it as a positive, how much does a fighter like Brock Jarvis take away from the experience of having someone run rings around them, literally in the mind?
It's a good question, Eloise. And I think Brock will definitely learn from that. I mean, in terms of ring IQ, just being in the ring with Keith Thurman, a practitioner of his ability for 3 rounds, will teach him a lot about himself and some of the mistakes he made that night. Now, one thing, Eloise, that is a benefit now, he's back with Jeff Fennick, his trainer. They had a bad split on the eve of the Thurman fight, which would have been devastating for Brock Jarvis. I think back with Jeff Fennick, it'll really elevate him again. And I don't think his career's finished yet, but he needs to get some emphatic wins. He needs to rebuild his craft. And I still think he's got the tools to be a very, very good domestic fighter, but we need to see more from him.
What tools does he need on Wednesday night coming up against Sam Beck? What can we expect in this sort of matchup?
Beck's dangerous. He's 30 years old, 7-0, 4 KOs. So he's never been beaten, which is always dangerous when you're coming up against a fighter that's got the self-belief to know I haven't been beaten. However, Brock, 22-2, he's had a lot of experience now at his age. So if he's with the right training base, I think Brock Jarvis, and at the weight, he's had to find the right weight. I think this is the right weight for him. And I believe he's got the power to destroy Beck, but he needs to watch his chin and he needs to watch his defensive game. If he leaves himself too open, he could get caught. So this is the test for Brock Jarvis.
How wary is Beck of coming up against an opponent who's just had experience of coming up against a fighter of Thurman and experience that he would take away from that and know that, you know, that it does make him more, I suppose, lethal in there. He learned so much from that.
Well, I guess, Eloise, in rugby league parlance, it'll be going from state of origin to A-grade football. I mean, Sam Beck is not in the class of Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman's a generational talent. So for Brock Jarvis, he now comes back to an opponent and a division and a style that will suit him. Thurman was levels above him and he paid the price. But credit to Brock. I actually thought he won the first round against Thurman. He was aggressive in the opening minutes and he won the first round. So that gives him heart that with the right training, with more stabilisation in his preparation, which you'll get with Jeff now back with him, I don't think this is the end for Brock Jarvis yet. However, he's at the crossroads. He needs an emphatic performance.
Can Brock Jarvis, in a way, take what Keith Thurman was saying to him in terms of the mind games and all of the slanging that was being had? Do we expect Brock Jarvis to come out there? We've still got today's open workout, and of course we've got the weigh-in, and then of course we've got the press conference. Can we expect a few barbs from him and Sam Beck?
Well, he's calling him an old man, Keith Thurman, so he's only 3 years older than Brock. But look, I think for Brock there was a bit of pantomime there, but he knows that he has to put the talk away and walk the walk, and I think he can do that in this fight.
Okay, now let's talk about, so Brock Jarvis gets through Wednesday night, he defeats Sam Beck. There's been a lot of conversation about Nikita Tszyu and Michael Zerafa, but enter Brock Jarvis into the chat. This is something that people have been toiling with. There's even been talk that George Rose has this on his mind. What would a Nikita Tszyu, Brock Jarvis fight do for Australian boxing?
That's a very good point, anyways. Look, I could tell you, I don't believe personally that Michael Zerafa will be Nikita's next opponent. I think in terms of the planning, it's just my suspicion. But I think if Brock wins this fight and Nikita gets through Ismaili, which I think they will, I wouldn't be surprised to see Brock fight Nikita next, and that would be a magnificent fight. I think it would be a real barn burner, because a bit like the Lulzim Ismaili fight against Brock Jarvis, two young guys who fancy themselves, who have bragging rights in their own mind. And I think that Nikita will fancy himself to beat Brock, but Brock would see openings in Nikita he can exploit. So I wouldn't be. It's a very good matchup, and I think Brock could shock Nikita.
So you believe that we may see Nikita Tszyu, Brock Jarvis first before we see something of a Zerafa and Nikita Tszyu. So we may have to bide our time before we do see these two enter the ring together. But a Brock Jarvis and Nikita Tszyu fight is just as much as something to tune into, correct? Because what you say would be fireworks.
100%. And look, for me, the beauty of that fight, Eloise, is they're both hittable. I mean, Nikita in every fight is venomous but vulnerable at the same time. And the same thing for Brock. Brock's got some power, but he can get hit pretty easily. So I think for both men, they'll fancy themselves, they'll see openings. I wouldn't be surprised if both men went down in a fight like that and got up again. So I think Brock Jarvis has the talent. I think the question is now, does he have the desire? And I think Jeff Fennick's the type of trainer that can bring that out in him.
All right, well, we'll bring in Brock Jarvis right here alongside us. Brock Jarvis, welcome to the coverage. I suppose let's start. How are you feeling heading up to Wednesday night, to first fight back since Keith Thurman? Are you ready to get in there?
Yeah, feeling good. Preparation's gone well for me. It's just keep digging at it, and got a tough fight ahead of me in Sam Beck, so it's the right fight for me right now to really prove what I can do.
We're just saying on the coverage, Brock, it's a credit to you for taking that Thurman fight, because it was a tough fight. What did you learn from it?
I learned heaps from that fight. Great experience for me. Being in there with Keith Thurman. I went in there to win that fight, and I come up short, of course, but I'll keep going, and I'll keep making those adjustments that I need to make moving forward, and just keep working on it.
From that experience, I suppose, I don't want to keep leaning on Keith Thurman, but we talk about the experience you took away from it. Did you change anything in the lead-up post that fight to this camp? Have you changed anything in the way you've been training? I know that you're now back with your old coach, of course, as well. Does anything change?
Look, I try to change my approach towards the fight, because there's certain small adjustments I need to make. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just being me and doing what I need to do. I feel that to go forward.
What about Brock? Jeff Fennick, I know it was a bit destabilising before Thurman, like you split with him, but it seems like you're back working with him again, which is magnificent. What can Jeff teach you, and how good is it to have him in your corner again?
Look, Jeff and I have been a team for a long time now, and I feel that he knows me pretty well, and I think he's good to have in the corner for me.
Brock Jarvis, I need to ask you, just lastly, you get through Sam Beck on Wednesday, a fight with Nikita Tszyu. Is that something that you'd like to see one day, step in the ring and go head-to-head with the Butcher?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm here to fight, I'm here to take on any challenge that presents itself, so obviously I've got to get through Sam Beck, get through that, and then whatever challenge comes my way.
It'd be a cracking fight, Brock. Do you believe you can beat Nikita? And if so, why?
Yeah, of course I believe I can beat Nikita. Yeah.
And he has his opponent, Michael Zerafa,
I just think I can.
So we'll get his thoughts on that.
I've got experience.
But ladies and gentlemen, here of Bondi Beach, the world famous Bondi Beach.
We can't wait to see you on Wednesday night, Brock Jarvis. Good luck against Sam Beck. It's going to be a cracker, and maybe one day we will see indeed that fight, you and Nikita Tszyu. Good luck on Wednesday.
Dolman.
Great to hear from Brock Jarvis. Next up, we are going to see Mikey Dolman. He is stepping into the ring. Of course, this American has come all the way out here. He comes up against Michael Zerafa. The other man in this chat, I love this, like Nikita Tszyu, Michael Zerafa, Brock Jarvis. It makes me excited.
You're building this up, aren't you?
I think I'm here to enter into this one. But Mikey Dolman, what do we know about him, Pete? And what can we expect from Wednesday night? And how threatening is he to Zerafa?
Well, he's an American banger, Eloise. I mean, he's 18-1 with 16 knockouts. So he's the knockout artist. He's only had the one loss. And when he wins, he invariably stops opponents. And he went viral, ironically, with his first fight. He knocked a guy through the ropes in his very first fight, and it went global around the world division. So he's got some power, he's got a big right hand, and Michael Zerafa has to be careful of that right hand because it could do some damage.
Hey, I'm getting carried away here, but I'd like Mikey Dolman to enter the chat. Nikita Tszyu, Brock Jarvis, and Mikey Dolman into this whole entire scenario, because it really feels like it's an exciting time. But Mikey Dolman in and amongst that, coming up against Nikita Tszyu, Brock Jarvis, or of course Michael Zerafa on Wednesday night. It's an exciting time. What does he prove? What does he have to prove on Wednesday?
Well, he's here, Eloise, to upset the apple cart. And I know, talking to Michael Zerafa a couple of weeks ago, Michael said to the promoters, No Limit, I don't want any easy fights. I want a tough fighter. I don't want just some battler that I'm going to put away in 2 or 3 rounds. I want someone that's going to test me. No Limit said, okay, we'll give you a test. They've found Mikey Dolman. Now, as I said, 18-1, 16 knockouts. He's got serious power in his right hand. And like a lot of Americans, they get good sparring over there. He'll come pretty confident of victory, well prepared, and if Michael is hittable, that's always been his big thing, Michael Zerafa. His defence can sometimes leave openings, and if Mikey Dolman gets an opening, he'll take it, so he has to be careful, Zerafa.
For Zerafa taking on Mikey, you said that he didn't want to have anything. Mikey Dolman said, I don't want to have an easy shot. I don't want to come here and just be some other opponent for them to step into the ring. How do you feel Michael Zerafa is going up against someone who does have 16 KOs? How does he sort of approach this fight? Is he still confident? Is he looking at lots of video, lots of tape? What's he doing in preparation for someone that has so much power?
It's a good point. Look, I've spoken to Michael about where he's at in his career, Eloise, and to me, this is the last chance saloon for Michael Zerafa. He's 33 years old, 33-5. He's a very good record, very experienced. But he fought for the world title last year against Erislandy Lara in March on the same card as Tim Tszyu in Vegas, and he got iced in 2 rounds. And he said in that fight, I've never been embarrassed. He said, I just didn't know what hit me. Erislandy Lara set traps and exposed me so brutally, and it was an insight into what I have to do to get to that level. So I think Michael Zerafa is better than domestic class, but is he world title world class? That's what we need to find out still, and he's running out of time to do it. But Michael Dolman, he needs to get through this. I think he will, but it'll be a tough fight.
I suppose, give us your prediction. Where do you feel like it will go? He says he's going to get through it, but what does it look like come Wednesday?
Well, look how relaxed he looks, Mikey Dolman. I mean, he could be out here for a holiday. He might go for a swim shortly.
Bondi Beach, welcome. I mean, why not?
But he's a man who's gone through adversity, Eloise. He went to jail as a juvenile.
Wow.
So it's an amazing comeback story. He said he came out of jail and he went straight to a gym. He checked into a gym after leaving jail and said, I want to turn my life around. And here he is now at Bondi with the biggest shot of his life against Michael Zerafa. So this is a massive chance for Dolman. Don't be surprised if he takes it, but I still think Michael Zerafa wins this fight. It'll go into the later rounds.
When we were talking about Michael Zerafa in his last fight, how he sort of almost changed his tune in terms of the way that he was sort of, I suppose, portraying himself to the world, right? There was once upon a time where he was the man that, I wouldn't go far as being hated, but there was a lot of talk about what he was serving out and dishing out to a lot of his opponents. Has he changed his tune in coming up against Mikey Dolman? Is he being a little bit more respectful? Is he being a little bit more, is he still going along with that sort of character in terms of the way that he's portraying himself?
100%. It's a great point, Eloise. I mean, I've seen this bit of a metamorphosis of Michael from, the villain and the bad boy that everyone hated to this sort of adored, loved guy in Australian boxing. But I've got to be honest, Eloise, I think Mick should play the villain. I think he does it beautifully. He speaks well, he sells well, and he can fight. And I think Michael Zerafa should back his ability, back his instincts. And I think he's best served when he is the villain of Australian boxing, because I think it brings out the best in him.
That's what I was going to ask you next. How important is it for someone in his camp and someone in his team to say, change your tune, recapture that villain, become that man that's, you know, everybody wants to step in the ring and really wants to sort of 1-2 KO. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that also helps your character. You talked about it with Jasmine Parr, building that, I suppose, audience for yourself and that name for yourself, but also helping his game in the ring.
Well, Louise, part of the reason that we all wanted to see Tim Tszyu and Michael Zerafa was because of the way that Zerafa cultivated the theme. He cultivated the narrative. He drove the good versus evil. And I think Michael Zerafa, in that frame of mind, can be one of the most sellable boxers in Australian sport. And for me, this fight is only a stepping stone to bigger and better things. He wants Nikita Tszyu. He ideally wants Tim Tszyu. Yes. But will he get Tim Tszyu? I don't know. But if he can't get Tim Tszyu, then Nikita's the next best option.
Well, let's bring in Mikey Dolman, because this is an exciting opponent that Michael Zerafa comes up against. He's just getting a little bit unwired on the mics, but what a backdrop here in Bondi to say welcome to Australia. If he's ever thinking of making a move, this is the place to do it. This is iconic. This is where we like to show tourists to the world.
Well, I'll tell you what,
bring in Mikey.
He might never go back, Eloise. I'll just say, Mikey, thanks for joining us on the coverage. We're saying, look at this weather, look at the beach. You might not go back to America.
Man, you guys should have brought me out here sooner. What happened?
Mikey, talk to us about the build-up to this fight. You're coming up against Michael Zerafa. What do you know about your Australian opponent, and what are you expecting come Wednesday?
Well, I'm expecting a hard hitter. I'm expecting someone explosive. But I'm a bit of a wild card myself, so I know he's got his hands full just as much as I do.
Well, you talk about hard hitting, Mikey. You're certainly that. We've seen that with your highlights reels. I mean, is that your real strength? Do you think you've got the power to knock out Michael Zerafa?
I think I do. I'm not gonna give too much free game. You know, like you gotta show up. But I'm prepared. I know that.
Mikey, for people at home who perhaps are not familiar with your story and your journey to get here, to come Wednesday night and come out here to Australia, just talk to us a little bit about yourself and your background and your journey to being a fighter in the ring and 16 KOs. Just talk to us about what can we expect and just who Mikey Dolman is.
Yeah, see, I kind of grew up a free lunch kid and, you know, just troubled. But boxing kind of saved my life, so I feel like I owed myself to kind of fully dedicate my body to it. And for terms of expectations, like, expect a prepared, not just hard-hitting Mikey Dolman, because I showed up. I showed up for a reason, and it's not for no reason. I mean, we traveled 36 hours. I think I can win. I think I'm gonna.
Just looking at Michael Zerafa behind you, Mikey, what do you know about Michael? What have you seen of him, and what does he possess?
I mean, he has the tools. He for sure has the tools, and I do too. And I mean, as far as that goes, that's kind of where I'm at with that conversation. I don't want to give too much free stuff, you know what I mean? But
I sense you think you can knock him out though, Mikey. I get that feeling.
I think I can win. I do.
Why is that?
Yeah. So I'm sure he thinks the same thing, and that's okay. That's totally okay, but I do think I can stop him.
You got to play. I mean, as Michael Zerafa here in Australian boxing has always been a man once upon a time that was known as the villain. He likes to throw barbs at his opponents. Are you ready to take serve and give one back if that's what he serves up in the press conference in the weigh-in and come Wednesday?
Yeah. So I am expecting the fight to start before the fight even starts, if that makes sense. Yeah. But it makes sense to me, you know. So, but yeah, that is exactly how I expect it to go.
Well, Mikey Dolman, thank you so much for joining us on the coverage, and good luck on Wednesday night.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
As we let Mikey Dolman go, we've got to talk about his opponent, Michael Zerafa. We're taking a look at him now. He's dialed in, Pete. How do you feel like he's looking at the moment? And, you know, we've seen so much of Michael Zerafa. What is Wednesday night? Is there a point to prove? What are we expecting from him?
You know, Eloise, you won't find many more professional people in Australian boxing than Michael Zerafa. Every time I see him, and you can see it now in the ring, he's sharp, he's slick, he's always fit. He runs 14, 15-kilometre runs. Wow. He's one of the fittest boxers in Australian sport. He loves running, and that will have him primed, not only physically but mentally. He's always mentally sharp, and he's acute, and I think that could be the difference for him.
Has he changed in terms of that? You talk about him, you know, the way he's so professional, the way he goes about it. Has that been something he's always had in his game, in his back pocket, or has it been something that he's sort of built as he's gotten older? You know, you talk about his age at this point in boxing. Is that something that he's really really need to fine-tune to be able to stay fit and relevant and be able to pick up fights like this?
Absolutely. Well, Eloise, one of the great myths about Michael Zerafa is that he won't take the tough fights or that he's a stay-busy fighter, he won't take the big fights. That's rubbish. He fought Peter Quillen at age 23 over in America. It was his first ever massive knockout loss. So he's shown his bravery. He'll take any fight. He took Erislandy Lara, one of the greatest fighters at middleweight. So, but let's not forget, Eloise, Michael Zerafa is ranked number 8 on BoxRec in the world at middleweight. He's still one of the best middleweights in the world, and he's Australia's number 1 middleweight. And Matteo Tapia is coming for him, but Michael Zerafa is still elite.
Michael Zerafa, let's talk about... Let's build this up. Michael Zerafa in an ideal world, or perhaps in a couple of months' time, it's Michael Zerafa, Nikita Tszyu. Talk to us about the buzz that would be like genuinely. How big would that be? And what sort of, I suppose, performance exhibition? What would we see come the ring? Fireworks, you name it. What would you really feel like that would do for Australian boxing?
It'd be massive. It'd really elevate it, Eloise. I mean, we talk about some of the great rivalries in Australian boxing. We of course had Mundine Green, and we always hoped that we would see Tim Tszyu against Zerafa to sort of match the pay-per-view power of Mundine Green, which will probably never be beaten. But this is as good as it gets in Australian boxing. For me, the Tszyu family against Michael Zerafa, it's as close as it gets.
A bit of this feud with this Tszyu family. It's always called about, as you said before, it's always been Tim. Now it's Nikita. But is Nikita almost, I think I mentioned it before, almost more threatening than what Tim would serve up to Zerafa? Does that become a more appetizing fight?
Well, it's interesting. I know Michael Zerafa thinks that Nikita's a better fighter than Tim. Now, maybe he's just trying to needle Tim, but I actually think we know he's got more power than Tim. Nikita's a bigger puncher than Tim Tszyu. So if Nikita lands one on Michael Zerafa, it could be good night nurse. However, Michael Zerafa showed he's got the speed in his left hand when he stopped Isaac Hardman. He's got power as well when his timing is exquisite. So he has to watch out Nikita because Zerafa's class.
Also too, Nikita Tszyu and Michael Zerafa, they've been a part of massive occasions. They've been a part of pay-per-view too. So they wouldn't be overawed by the occasion, would they? That would almost be something where they would flourish in that situation.
Well, there's not many fighters in Australia, Eloise, who have had near 40 professional fights. I mean, Zerafa's come into his 39th fight. That is a remarkable record. He's been a pro for 13, 14 years. So he's done it at just about every level. He hasn't won a world title, but he's been nearly there. He's been so close to the mountain. He wants to climb Everest. This is the last ascent for him.
It is a huge climb, and we're going to bring in Michael Zerafa. He too is just getting his mic taken off. We're going to bring him in. He's going to come up against Mikey Dolman. It's a match to the occasion for him, but of course he gets through Wednesday night. He beats Mikey, and then of course it's being billed for this Nikita Tszyu fight that we've been talking about. I'm really excited to hear Michael Zerafa's thoughts because we've spoken to him. He fought at the beginning of the year. We haven't seen him since. Come on in. Michael Zerafa, welcome to the coverage. I suppose tell us how you're feeling. Are you ready to get out there? We just had Mikey Dolman. He wasn't really giving too much away. He was really having his cards close to his chest.
Look, I actually feel sorry for him. He just had a 36-hour flight, so he's probably half asleep. No, look, I'm excited. He's respectful. I'm going to go there, be respectful, get the job done, and let our fists do the talking come Wednesday night.
Well, I think you will get the job done, Mick. But once you do get the job done, there's talk about Nikita Tszyu, there's talk about Tim Tszyu. Which brother do you want first?
Look, respect to both of them. I mean, my goal is to be a world champion, not to beat a Tszyu. I mean, it's a great fight for Australia, and it's a fight we will get eventually. I don't know which one will come first, but again, respectfully, I'm ranked in the top 10, and they're just outside that. So I want to move forward, not go backwards.
Michael, once upon a time you were known as the villain. You talked about changing your tune, but would you potentially go back to being that villain if you're going to come up against someone like Nikita Tszyu? He can throw some barbs as well. It's what Australian people want to see.
Yeah, look, 100%. I mean, there's a time and place to let the talking start, and I've got no dramas bringing that back. But again, it's not my personality naturally just to be someone that's aggressive and fire up. But when there's time to go, I'll go.
Is it a sense of just being dialed in at this fight now and waiting to see what comes next, or do you think ahead? Do you circle that on the calendar? Do you look at that next opponent? How do you sort of approach these next sort of couple of fights?
I always look on the task ahead. I never look past Wednesday night or the opponent I've got. I'm fully focused and zoned in on Mikey Dolman, and then after that we regroup and we see our options. But like I said, this fight will move me to the top 5 in the world. You know, my belt's on the line as well, so it'll move me up the rankings.
Ladies and gentlemen, now time
exciting times ahead.
People forget, Mick, just how good you are and how quality you are. Why do you think you beat Tim Tszyu?
Look, I think I've said it since day one. I mean, people are going to go against me, but I think styles make fights, and I think my style is what he'll struggle with, and that's nothing personal. It's strictly business, you know. I just think I've got more artillery, and he's proven that he can't mix it at that level, you know. And I think I've got more to give.
The other one is, of course, Nikita. Like, I know he's got power, Mick, but do you feel you've got the class and the boxing IQ to cut him apart?
Yeah, look, Nikita, he's one strange dude. I mean, I'm starting to like him. I believe it or not, he walked past me and shook my hand. I mean, he's starting to win me over slightly. But look, take nothing away from him. He's doing great things. I mean, everyone put in front of him, he's beating. But I think I'm levels above, and he's even said that himself. And again, if the promoters think it's worthwhile, it's going to elevate my career, or there's a massive payday on the line, I shy away from no one. So give me the offer, and then we can talk.
What's your thoughts on Nikita Tszyu and his preparation? He's been having some of his wife's breast milk to get ready for this fight. Is that something that you would consider?
Well, everyone's asked me about this. I've had about 15 interviews and they've all asked me. Look, I think it's strange. Some things just should not be said. I mean, you know, if the shoe was reversed and I come out and said I'm drinking my partner's titty milk, it'd be all over the... I'd be on 6 p.m. Crime Stoppers, I reckon, down in Melbourne, but...
A current affair would be...
A current affair or something, but... I mean, it works for him. He's not harming anybody, so let him keep drinking his breast milk.
Does he look fitter for it?
I don't know. I don't know. Nikita, he's doing some weird stuff now. He's always doing... If he rips out a bottle, I'm going home.
What about his brother? Is Tim Tszyu finished, do you think?
Look, I feel sorry for Tim. I've been there, and a lot of people said he's a quitter and whatnot, but no one understands what he would have been. If he actually did quit on the stool, I feel sorry for him, because he must have been fighting some serious demons in there, man. For him to say, I don't want to go back out there, because he's a fighter, you know, and despite our differences and our, you know, our hate towards one another, I feel sorry for him, because, yeah, like I said, I've been there, and it's a shit spot to be in, and yeah, for him not to come back out, he must have been going through a lot. So my heart goes out to him, and take some time off boxing, brother, and enjoy it with your family, man. Like I said, you've done great things for the sport despite everything.
Michael Zerafa, if there's one message for people tuning in at home, they want to come out there on Wednesday night, what's the message for Michael Zerafa to make sure you see him up against Mikey Dolman?
Look, tune in, it's going to be a great fight. I mean, not only myself in a blockbuster, but you got Nikita, the creep, Tszyu in the background, and you got Brock, Jarvis, you got everyone on there. So it's going to be a good night, so tune in and get behind the Aussies.
Well, we're looking forward to the prospect of you and Nikita Tszyu getting into the ring maybe one day, but for now it's Mikey Dolman. Thanks so much for your time on the coverage, and good luck on Wednesday.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it. Thank you.
As we let go Michael Zerafa there, and of course now it's time to talk about the Butcher. The Butcher is back. I love that line, it's so good. He's looking, I mean, he's a bit of a strange cat, but that's what we love about him, right? And he says he's a strange cat, but that's what makes it sell, and that's what sells these unreal pay-per-view cards. But also, too, his form. He walks the walk, right?
He's pay-per-view box office material. Yeah. Like, I mean, he's out there, he's zany, and that's what we love about him.
He's just doing tumbles and turns.
Oh, look, he could do a 360 in a minute, who knows, but he could join the Moscow Circus. But look, one thing about him, he's got this mystical madness. I mean, 1 minute he could be brutal, the next minute he looks beatable. And that's the beauty of Nikita Tszyu on pay-per-view television. You don't know at any moment what is going to happen with Nikita Tszyu. He could knock someone out in a second, or he could be knocked out himself. And that's where Nikita has to now watch himself moving forward. How vulnerable is he becoming? How much is he getting hit? How does he address that to win a world title, which is his ultimate goal?
Well, you said it off the top when we had George Rose, and welcomed you to the broadcast, about the fact that Nikita Tszyu has been out of the ring for 12 months, and that can sometimes hurt an opponent. Do you feel like that could have some sort of, or play some sort of factor come Wednesday for Nikita?
I do, Eloise, and I'm also worried about some of the things he said physically about his hand. Like, he's had two hand operations now. There was some concerns about whether he'd even fight again, and he even said the other day that he's still not 100% with his hand. So that worries me a little bit. I mean, there may be some alarm bells. I mean, if he injures his hand again in this fight, it could be career-threatening. So let's hope that's not the case. But look, Nikita, I hope he brings his best, because Nikita's best can really elevate Australian boxing, especially at a time when his brother's struggling.
Well, let's talk about his opponent, Macedonian Ismaili. He's flown out here. He's based over there in Germany. He's got just two men in his corner. It's his cousin and it's his uncle, who's also his trainer. But what makes him threatening? What can we expect from him come Wednesday? This is a huge occasion for him.
Well, this is the first international opponent for Nikita. So, look, he's shown on the domestic front that he's dominant, supremely so. But for Lulzim Ismaili, he's never been beaten. So this is a battle of two unbeaten men. Someone's O will go. And he's a good body puncher. I've seen some vision of Ismaili. He's tough. I mean, he's Macedonian born but lives in Germany. And he's never been stopped in his 12 fights. So, look, I think Lulzim will go to the body and he'll test Nikita at the body. And that's what Nikita has to be wary of. He has been hittable up top. But Lulzim will go for the body as well.
Ismaili said this week that he's not out here to just, sort of step into the ring, be some opponent that Nikita can get through and then just fly home. He is here to win. He's not backing down from someone like Nikita. You'd only have to come out here to Australia and realise how big the Tszyu family, not even just the Tszyu family, that's worldwide with Costa and Tim. But to know he's coming up against Nikita, who's been out for 12 months, but he's not backing down. He's really backing himself in here to have a real shot.
100%. And look, Eloise, one thing that Ismaili has shown, watching footage of him, is that when he smells blood, he goes for the jugular. And he's actually got he's got a decent right hand and he can hurt someone. So Ismaili's no slouch. But for me, in every fight, Nikita has been vulnerable at some point. And that's what we need to see. We need to see him playing the edges. And if he wants to go to that next level, as Sean Porter, the two-time world champion, has said, he needs to improve his defence. He needs to get his head movement better. It's something his brother doesn't do enough of. So if he is less centre-line Nikita, that will take him forward as a fighter. Because at the moment, I think he's very good domestically, but we want to see him go to that international level.
So really, this is the next big test. This is one of the biggest tests for him. In fact, he's coming up against an international opponent. This could set the scene for such a long way ahead. Nikita, we're just talking about you. Good morning. Welcome. Nikita, talk to us. It's been almost 12 months out of the ring. You must be just fit ready to get back in there.
Time to welcome up into the ring.
Just itchy has been like the big word that I can really describe it with.
From Germany,
just happy to be back into the rhythm of it.
North Macedonia.
Although I've loved the time off, I've loved enjoying just relaxing. I'm young only for a short period of time in my life, and I really want to let this anger out whilst my body's still fresh.
Ladies and gentlemen,
a bit of a look in your eye.
I'm starting to cut weight, so something's sticking in me. Yeah.
Mate, have you really missed it, Nikita, being away for a year? Do you feel like we could see another version of you, a more dangerous version of you?
Well, I hope that this year away has been positive and I can learn from it. I've been listening to a lot of the critics that have been put upon me, the improvements I need to make, and I hope that I don't mess up.
Nikita, this 12 months out of the ring, it's been a massive, I suppose 12 months, but the fact that you are now a father, Curiosity is your little baby. What does it mean to step back into the ring now as a dad? Does it change your mindset? It almost has a new purpose on life.
Yeah. She's a huge motivating factor for me. Coming home each day, seeing her face, I'm not fighting just for myself anymore. I was fighting for my dogs as well before, but now I've got I've got actual humans to feed. So it's very motivating.
Is it almost you feel like you're a bit emotional talking about?
I do get emotional. My wife and my daughter, they have like a soft. I can already feel like my eye ducts are starting to water up. I don't know what they have over me, but they've hit like a soft spot.
How much can you use that though as motivation on Wednesday? Do you dial into that soft side, almost that tear jerking emotions when you think about Curiosity and your wife Nikita to really dial in?
Well, the emotion is what brings the strength for me. Although people could assume that it's a soft side, it's actually a darker side of me. My wife, she encourages me to be the animalistic self that I am, person that I really am. And she's been away at her dad's place for the last week. I've been by myself at home, kind of just tuning in for everything, just looking at printed photos of them, and Yeah, I'm fucking ready.
You're about to cry. I'll jump in now and save you. What about Nikita? This is a fascinating test for you. Your first international opponent. Lulzim's just behind you. You've seen him now in the flesh. What have you made of him?
I mean, we're all humans at the end of the day. We all bleed the same way, and he has a different style that I've never seen before in my life. There'll be an adjustment period, but I need to be quick with it and take him out.
What style do you see Nikita when you watch his fight style?
I think he's more of a defensive and counter-punching kind of style. He's going to be, I think he'll be more going backwards, setting traps, and catching me making mistakes. So I've been practicing a lot on the pressure, the cutting off the ring, I don't want to give too much away. What am I doing?
Well, what about Nikita? We'll move on to Michael Zerafa, for example. I know Mick Zerafa wants to have a crack at you. If not Tim Tszyu, he wants you. How would that fight go, and could you beat Michael Zerafa?
It's a big step for me. I'm not going to lie, he's obviously much higher up than where I am, and for me, it'll be like a Jeff Horn moment for me that Tim had. It will take me to the next level. I love to challenge myself. That's what we do the sport for. We fight. And you can't have easy fights the whole life. You've got to push to the limit. And I welcome a fight with him. Be a great build-up. It'll be great for the Australian boxing. We don't love each other, so it's going to be good conversations going to be coming out of it.
There's been no love lost, obviously, about the fact you and Michael Zerafa stepping into the ring, but there's also been chatter around Brock Jarvis, Nikita Tszyu. What do you make of Brock?
I mean, I'm down for anyone. Whatever my management and my promoters come up with, I'm down for it. I don't actually have a say in who I fight. I just get told who I'm fighting, and I'm like, okay, cool. I just get a message, and I'm like, all right, mad. Not even a meeting. Just get a message, text message.
Very casual over here. Nikita Tszyu, good luck on Wednesday night. We wish you all the best, and can't wait to see you.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in from home, right here from Bondi Beach. It's been iconic, Pete, working alongside you, talking through all of these fighters. We can't wait for Wednesday night, pay-per-view. Make sure you join us, main event. We'll see you there, Pete.
We're going for a swim now, aren't we, Louise, first? We're going to make...
Absolutely.
We might be freezing, but anyway, we'll get it done.
We've got to get that cold plunge in. Thank you so much. We'll see you on Wednesday night. Make sure you tune in. Have a good day.
The Dark Prince reigns supreme.
Nikita, the Butcher!
Nikita Tszyu is back. The Butcher is back.
It's time for blood and brutality.
The weekend can go by pretty fast sometimes. Let's slow things down a bit. Your day, your team, your channel. This is how Sundays should be.
This season,
minus 52 with the win.
Arctic blizzards hit Buffalo with a vengeance. As new planes
how the hell did that happen?
Trigger new troubles. Rookies fail.
Pull your weight, you're not gonna last.
Planes get